Where is Eazy E? Ah, there he is. Look at him. And let me say that you are one bad, and this is okay to say because he's in Niggas with Attitude, one bad niggas, right? All right. There you are. There he is, Eazy E. What? Take a seat. Well, at least you're not in trouble with the law.
No.
Eazy E.
Or are you running? Are you on the run?
Did you see Flavor Flav, the rap star, the great rap star? Flavor Flav was arrested last night.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now he was arrested for what, Robin?
He brandished a gun at a neighbor, apparently, in a dispute over a woman. Is all we can sort of ascertain at this moment.
Right. And then yesterday, it was who was in trouble?
Tupac
Shakur for doing what?
For shooting 2 police officers.
Now, what are you going to do to top these guys, Eazy E? Nothing.
Stay out of jail.
You're going to stay out of jail. Were you ever in jail? Were you ever in jail?
I don't know.
Yes?
Come on, you know if you've been to jail.
You would know if you've been to jail.
It's not something you forget.
Well, you know, a lot of the rap stars haven't been to jail. In a way, it looks bad that they haven't.
You know, that was the plot of a movie, CB4.
Yes.
These guys decided, you know, we're not getting anywhere being straight-up guys, so let's pretend to be gangsters and say we've got records.
Someone like Dre, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Dr.
Is he
Dre.
pretending to have a record?
Pretending to be a gangster. I mean, he was from a group called the World Class Wrecking Crew back in the days, and they used to wear lipstick, lace, eyeliner, biker shorts.
Oh, really?
Sequence dresses.
Let me ask you something now. Let me understand the rap world a little bit, okay? By the way, let me just say salam alaikum.
Whatever that is.
That's, what are you? You don't know
He's
salam
not
alaikum?
Muslim.
I don't know all that stuff.
You're not into that?
No.
Oh. He doesn't know anything.
I don't think you're hitting the right note.
I'm blacker than Eazy
with
E.
this brother.
Yeah, this brother doesn't understand anything. You say salam alaikum, you're supposed to say alaikum salam, my brother. That's right. Anyway, let me speak some African to you. Ungawa kriga bundula chita. Do you know what that means? Boy, I'm more black than you are, Eazy E. That's right. That's what it means. Kiss my ass. Kiss my big black ass. That's what it means.
You're supposed to say peace.
Do you ever say peace?
No, that ain't me.
You don't do that either?
That's like some East Coast stuff. Peace.
Peace. Yeah, I don't do that myself.
Big rift between the East and the West Coast.
Yeah.
We don't care too much about peace.
Eazy E, you have, let me give a little history, because people will find this fascinating. Let me give the history.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a group called Niggas with Attitude.
You like saying that name.
I love that name. Niggas with Attitude. That's a great name. N-I-G-G-A-Z, am I correct?
Right.
All right. Eazy E was in it with some dude named Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Not that big fat Dr. Dre on MTV. That guy's a clown, a buffoon.
Well, you can see Dr. Dre's videos all over the place.
Right. Dr. Dre is this guy who was in Niggas with Attitude. So how did you meet Dr. Dre? How did you meet Niggas with Attitude? In the ghetto?
I formed Niggas with Attitude.
Could he get on the mic?
He is on the mic. That's the sick part of it.
Oh.
He's got a very soft
Can
voice.
Can you hear?
There he is. You know, a lot of these...
Dr. Dre, I took Dr. Dre from a group called the World Class Wrecking Crew, which he was a good producer at the time.
Right.
Which they used to do love songs, like ballads and techno music.
Right.
Did they have any hits?
Had picked him to be in Niggers with Attitude.
No, I picked him as a producer.
A producer? He wasn't even in Niggers with Attitude.
And then we put him in the group, you know.
So who was the number one nigger in Nigger was with Attitude?
Oh, you're breaking my heart, Eazy E. You're breaking my heart. Not a YouTuber, just like making videos. God rest the dead, but I got to go into this. I stumbled across this interview. You know, I was just bored on YouTube because, you know, most YouTube channels pretty much orbit around, you know, the same topics or the same viral videos. I was going to check out the Howard Stern archives, and I came across this video that was conducted in 1993 with Eazy E and Howard Stern, and I have to admit that I'm a little disappointed in Eazy E. Now, as far as Howard Stern, like we know his steez. He's a shock jock. You know, he, you know what I'm saying, gave birth to people like Adam Carolla, The Man Show, and so forth. So I can't fault Howard Stern for being Howard Stern, even though I don't have to really like him. But, you know, Howard Stern is, you know, he's known to take shots at all kinds of groups of people, you know, because he feel like he can because he's Jewish, and I guess a Jew can't be racist and so forth because he's part of a so-called selected group. But I noticed that he take pot shots at black and black culture quite a lot, more than most people know have. As I said, I'm going through the Howard Stern archives. Man, I tell you, man, this is 90s Howard Stern. The dude was an animal. But as far as Eazy E, the big bad gangster, and I understand that when he goes on Howard Stern, he knows not to let Howard Stern get under his skin, don't get emotional around him. But gosh, Dana Plato gave Howard Stern more pushback than Eazy E did. There's something, I'm like, Eazy E, I'm like, he should have checked him on some things. I'm like, Howard Stern had plenty against that, where they had some tit for tat back and forth. The way Howard Stern would got so comfortable saying the N word. First, he recognized it as niggas for life, as Niggaz. Then he just goes in and drops the hard R. Like, oh, I like saying that word. Yeah, and Robin is not going to do anything. Robin is like his mammy. But, you had to expect Eazy-E to step up. It's like Howard Stern talking about Assalamu alaikum. Eazy-E should have told him, like, hey, black people are not a monolithic group. That's Muslims. I'm, what I'm saying? I run with a different sect than them. I got nothing against them. And they talk about peace. Eazy-E talking about that's the East Coast thing, which, yeah, but I know that a lot of West Coast non-gangster artists was saying it is a peace thing, but still, it's like with Howard Stern, the whole black diaspora, black culture, just in one big pot. It's like you're talking about speaking African. I'm like, man, he was, and it ain't just me that noticed it. I'm reading the comment section. I guess Eazy-E was high, sedated, or whatever. And and that I only showed you a snippet of the interview, just the beginning there, like the first 3 minutes or whatever. I'm like, the interview is like 4 minutes long, and trust me, it gets worse. At one point of the interview, Howard called Eazy-E, son of, just called him a retard, and then because he said, Howard Stern says, karate, Eazy-E, I bet you I can beat your ass. Eazy-E says, I don't know karate, I know crazy. What James Brown said. And then Howard Stern said under his breath, like, yeah, crazy like a retard.
You were. Yeah. See, that's good.
Is that good?
That gives you credibility.
You ever kill anybody?
How many people you killed?
It's about 7.
7 people, good, all right. You see, that makes him
good. Why aren't you in jail?
he's on furlough. No, seriously. But you were in a gang, right?
Yeah.
All right. See, you got to be in a gang.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask another question. Were they all, to get into the gang, did you have to do one of those things where you go knock off old woman with a shopping bag or something?
Guys.
You used to knock out guys?
Yeah.
You never mess with the old ladies and their groceries?
I wonder if I could kick Eazy-E's ass.
Well,
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Maybe I could beat your ass.
I don't think you could beat my ass.
Really?
Are you packing?
You know karate?
I know crazy.
Do you? Yeah, crazy. Crazy like a retard. You pack.
That's, I'm like, ooh. So, I don't, as I said, maybe Eazy is programmed not to go against the Jews because he had a Jewish boss. Of course, he was talking about Dr. Dre being a fake gangster or whatever. I'm like, come on, Howard doesn't care about that. Howard looks at that whole gangster rap world, black people, as just all screwy. It's just all malarkey and so forth. Now, as his core fan base won't understand it. Matter of fact, later on in the interview, they start to play Eazy-E's song "Real Motherfucking G's," and then Howard Stern says something about, oh, my fan base, my audience is gonna be like, they're gonna wreck their cars listening. Like, what is this? And so forth. But hence, Howard Stern does have. I'm like, Howard Stern had the white boys locked down. So there are white boys that's familiar, that are gangster rap fans, that are hip hop fans, that are also Howard Stern fans, that knows exactly what Eazy-E's talking about when he's talking about Dr. Dre's a fake gangster and so forth. But still, Howard Stern goes on about rappers being locked up. Now, this is 1993. There was barely any rappers getting locked up. Matter of fact, there was more rockers, people of other music genres, catching cases. Axl Rose was catching cases, Willie Nelson was catching cases, and whoever else. He brings up Tupac Shakur. Now, I know there's some white people that mispronounce Tupac's first name and call him Tupac, which that's ridiculous because there would have been a K there. But Shakur, I'm like, how did he not know that? Or is he being funny? Is he being jovial? And it's funny that, he mentions Dr. Dre, and he also mentions the other Dr. Dre that's on TV, that was on MTV. We know the heavyset Dr. Dre, who was a DJ, and he was going on saying that guy's a clown and buffoon. He called Dr. Dre, MTV's Ed Lover's Dr. Dre, a clown and buffoon. Dr. Dre is the most mellow out dude. I'm like, he didn't even really say that much. He's just like a fat guy who was just, I never known him with antics. I'm like, Ed Lover sometimes acts, but that's Ed Lover's personality. He acts crazy a little bit, but still, that's odd for him to say that Dr. Dre is a buffoon. The MTV Dr. Dre. But as I said, maybe Howard Stern knows a lot more. I think Howard Stern knows a lot more about black culture than he's leading on. As I said, he's just trying to be a clown and so forth. He knows that not all black people are about assalamu alaikum, and he probably knows this stuff, but to appeal to his audience that are completely ignorant, of this era, especially probably his 35 and old audience, because I understand he does got a lot of hip hop fan audience. I'm saying white boys and so forth. This is. This was a very neat interview, And also it's funny that Howard Stern mentioned, rappers getting in trouble, rappers going to jail and so forth, which at that time, he initiated that interview in 1993. There was barely any rappers getting in trouble at law. Well-known rappers. There was actually more rock and roll dudes and country singers getting in trouble with the law. You have Willie Nelson. You have Axl Rose was getting all those misdemeanors and so forth. I can't remember other ones, but still, I'm like, in general, artists, especially old school artists at that time who wasn't really selling new records anymore, was getting in trouble. But it was something that people, I guess, expected for rappers to get in trouble. Like, as far as Tupac goes, he was on some real shit. That's when Tupac shot those two cops and beat that case. This was before Tupac caught that case with that girl. This was also before Snoop Dogg caught his case. Or he would have mentioned it. He only mentioned Flavor Flav and Tupac Shakur. And that's it. The rap world condemned rappers going to jail. Ed Lover condemned it. Ed Lover said that stuff is whack. And gangster rap, what Eazy E represents, there was still a minority. At that time in 93, even though the Afrocentric rappers was kind of dying down, the people wasn't wearing African medallions before, still you had Arrested Development. You had what's that other group that everybody, PM Dawn. You still had a lot of rappers that didn't even have that explicit parental advisory sticker on their album. But it's like Flavor Flav gets in trouble and Tupac gets in trouble. Then it's like, all these rappers, what you gonna do? What you gonna do to rival that, Eazy E? You gotta do something. When that wasn't part of rap culture back then, rappers catching cases, it barely happened. But that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching and never stop learning.